Hello and welcome to another session of Hearts of Wulin Numberless Secrets. This is a mystery solving version of Hearts of Wulin, but we take our time with the mysteries. We take our time because there are lots of NPCs to talk to and interact with and bounce off of. So that is the big part of this. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this session is part of the Open Hearth Gaming Community and calendar. There are going to be links to that in the show notes around along with other things. You can follow us on Tumblr. You can follow us on Blue Sky. You can follow us on Substack. You can follow us on DiceCamp. You cannot follow us on Twitter because Twitter is burning down and we have left that particular building. But that is out there. There are more details, of course, in the show notes, but I just wanted to mention that. So last time, our group, some of them basked in the glory of the successful mystery here at Stone's Gate. And the solution of that, some people cheered with the successful completion. Some people, like the person who hired Bao Shi, wept great tears because the mystery did not come out as they had wished it to be solved, and they have been moved to be questioned by imperial authorities. But that was a thing that occurred. Last time, there was a meeting of our detectives to discuss matters, and Magistrate Delon showed up and asked about the robberies, which was a part of the mystery that had not been solved yet, or at least had been explained, even though the group knew who had done it. But discretion was a better part of valor, and they opted not to turn in the brother and sister duo for this, which created some tensions there. An interesting scene with Song Da and Bao Shi. There were some other investigations into things. La Song Jinai showed Chao Lin some of the secrets of the Blue Mountain household and the libraries there. Song Da, Jinai, and Chao Lin finally had a chance to speak and talk about what was going on and maybe sort of a hint at the weirdness that has been happening with the Bureau of Legends.
Also, we made a murder board.
And they also made a murder board, a very lovely murder board. If this was a musical, that would be a song, the murder board song. And Bao Shi also met a lovely gentleman, a imperial court advanced man by the name of Black Pearl, who spoke with him and asked him if he could assist with things. Because in the background of all of this was hearing that something big and imperious was coming. Streets were being swept. Merchants were getting their best gear and goods out. The wine sellers were just putting out their garbage wine so they would have the finest wine in reserve. There was all kinds of preparations that you can imagine being made by local authorities in the course of this. What you knew, what you heard, is that an imperial delegation on somewhat short notice, you're not sure how short, but certainly kind of maybe a little bit unexpectedly, a delegation is arriving from the imperial court to oversee the dedication of a great temple here in Stone's Gate. And you know that this temple has been built with a lot of donations from various Wulin factions and local merchants and stuff, and that has been essentially in progress. But you sort of expected that it might be next year that temple would be dedicated, but apparently the signs are auspicious. The astrologers have said, the geomancers have determined, and there is a giant Buddha statue and other great things that are there, and that is to be dedicated. And the person who arrived was the Dowager Empress. Her husband had been the emperor, but when he died fairly young, his brother took over. So she has the role of the Empress Dowager. Normally, that would be, an older role. She is a little bit older, but she is not the kind of the retiring back to the estates sort of Dowager Empress. And she has with her an entourage, and one of the imperial princes is with her, though who it is uncertain right now. Which imperial prince, what's going on? You can't expect that it would be the heir. They certainly wouldn't do that, but maybe, who knows? You've also heard that there are other people that will be coming here, including you expect the arrival of Indigo Judgment, the master of the Bureau of Legends, here in the city during these auspicious times. And that's sort of where we left off last time, if I am to be correct. Anything major, plot-wise or detail-wise, that I left off? Hearing none, I will move to the next point. So let's take a look at entanglements and where everybody is at. I think most people are fairly cleared of their previous situation. Songda, it looks like you are at 8 of 8 on XP. Am I right?
Yes, I was just filling in, but I took the 14 blades where you can create strange devices and substances. As I was trying to remember, was it a bird or an insect? The little
Bird.
a bird. That's it. The weird technical monks things. Names are escaping me.
That's okay. And of course, now they've escaped me. Now they've escaped you, it's flown out of my head like a bird.
Maoist?
Maoist, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. One of their devices. I got given it as a gift by the leader of that performance troupe, and I think Songda has been like studying it and making drawings of it and tinkering with it and slowly and inexplicably figuring out some of this like tinkering and gadget making.
Excellent. And one of the things I do want to mention as another option that I've left off of the list because it's not a standard Hearts of Wulin option. Another option for advances is that as an advance, you can clear 4 of your shadows to reuse those shadows. Just that's another option if you have burned through those. Are you good with your entanglements?
I'm good to move forward with them. I do need to. I think I want to rewrite that general one.
Yeah,
but maybe some things that go on this session will help inform that.
Yeah, I think still, if you want to still circle around Indigo Judgment, there's a lot of other interesting ways to approach that.
Yeah, and I may have. I'll figure it out. I may have some like issues with betrayal or something, but I'll figure that out.
Okay. Let us come to Lost Song Janai. And it looks like you got an advance last time.
I did. Let's see. And oddly enough, I appear to have taken Trail of the Everlasting Hero. I don't recall taking this. When I hunt someone roll on a hit, I know exactly where to find them and can track them until I do so. On a 10 plus, they're not alerted, and I take +1 for. I don't recall taking this, but apparently last time we played, I thought it was a good idea. So, surprise! Maybe that's actually my uncle that's good at that.
Absolutely.
Just know a little bit about it.
Are you going to obey the Edict of Past Sherry?
What is that?
To taking that move, or. Why don't you think about that? Are you good with your entanglements?
Am I? I actually have been enjoying those a good deal.
Okay.
I do think that my worry for my great uncle is a huge part of it, and Baushi has told me I should beat myself, but it is a very dangerous time I don't know who I should be right now. There you go.
That seems like a reasonable worry to have, a concern.
Exactly.
All right. Let us come to Iron Lotus. Iron Lotus. Looks like you're about halfway along your track for XP. I think given the time has passed, I give everybody a chance to clear an element, so you can go ahead and clear that water. And are you good with your entanglements as they stand at this moment?
Yeah, because it seems like Baoshi is still entangled with Songbird June.
Yeah,
right?
he thought
So,
Songbird June had left, but Songbird June had not left.
ooh, ooh, juicy. But yeah, so I'm good with as they are for now.
Okay. That sounds good. Chow Lin, you are also about halfway along on your work there.
Yes, I'm rewriting both of my entanglements as we speak.
Ooh, well then
Actually
I will
intended to before, but I totally forgot until like
then
5 minutes ago.
let me go to Baoshi and I'll come back to you on that
Okay.
entanglement question here. Baoshi, you're also about halfway along on your entanglements, it looks like. And are you
water's
good?
marked.
Mm-hmm. Are you good with your
I'm
entanglements?
switching out my general, and I was in the process of trying to write there. What I think
Sure.
it's going to be is I'm going to keep it with Lost Song and all that. But what I'm thinking is my friend Lost Song Jedi is loyal to her uncle, Blue Mountain Scholar, but I believe it is holding her back and maybe putting her in danger. Does that seem like a nice evolution? Does that work with you, Sherry? Cool.
Yes, it makes explicit some of the tensions and concerns that we have for each other.
One of the things, of course, we discovered before is that Sister Lushan, who is associated with Chao Lin and with Song Da, has a sister who you met, who was secretary to our merchant who has fallen from grace. And her name is Duan Su. I have put her picture in our sort of ongoing recurring NPCs, along with I've returned First Orchid's picture to that, so we have that there, and some other people who are there as characters to consider. Chow Lin, should I come and ask you what you're thinking?
Yes. The problem is that both of them sort of have the same, but or elements of the same one. Basically, so okay, there's Sister Lushan, there's Blue Mountain Scholar, there's Sangda, and they are all interrelated.
Interesting.
I'm trying to make two separate entanglements out of that because there kind of are multiple sides to it, but
well, let's start with the romantic one.
okay.
Who do you think is complicating that interaction with Sister Lushan, given the revelation you had last time?
Right. Who is complicating that?
Is it, do you think it's more your loyalty to Blue Mountain Scholar, your connection to Song Da, your worries about Indigo Judgment, something else?
All of the above, but I think I mean, it's Song Da who keeps like pushing me to go talk to Sister Lushan, right? Okay. so I think it actually is Song Da complicating that.
Okay.
But Song Da keeps trying to get me to get like information from her.
I think that is a perfect way to put that.
It's not like, yeah.
And at the very least, that's how you perceive it right now.
Right. Yes. I think like Sangda So every interaction with her is like half feeling guilty and half trying to get information from her.
And then feeling more guilty. Yeah, I think that's
yes,
fair.
Exactly.
And then your general, you say, I must protect my old friend, Blue Mountain Scholar. But Songda's faction, the Bureau of Lessons is planning to move against them, against him. Yeah, it does give us Songda twice in there, doesn't it?
Right, exactly. It's
You can always say, but his niece, Lost Song Jedi, is pretty squirrely. I think that is your concern.
That's true. I still have not figured out what the deal is with him. I know there's something weird about him.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say you're not sure if you should put your loyalty with Blue Mountain Scholar or with Lost Song Jedi. Maybe like torn a little bit between those two.
Yeah, but also I'm not sure what his niece is up to.
The poet
seems to have ulterior motives that I don't understand. There we go.
Let's start with a scene that was kind of, and I'm putting both Baoshi and Qiaolin a little bit on the spot here, because this was one of the things from the questions last time about giving the two of you a chance to do a scene together, to kind of get things in place. Do you think it's more that Baoshi that you want to track down Qiaolin because you really haven't talked to him? Or Qiaolin, is it that you want to consult with Baoshi to see what Baoshi knows? Either of you feel strongly about that?
We ended the last one with me failing to find out anything about Indigo Judgment. So I could see going to Baoshi and asking what he knows.
Okay. Then let's set up the Baoshi Qiaolin scene, and then perhaps we'll bring Iron Lotus in. There was much commented on Iron Lotus's schedule and Baoshi feeling a little bit lost last time. So Qiaolin, you've been to Baoshi's office before. You will arrive there again. I do think you'll see Baoshi's been investigating, been talking to people, been looking into what's going on in the city. I do think that you can tell that the sort of the atmosphere of the town has changed. There are more crowds, there are more merchants. Everything is busier as you make your way, and you will arrive at Baoshi's and find him at his desk. You've seen his scroll cases that he uses as a weapon. They're probably out by him, but then the papers are laid out on the table. And I expect that maybe it's a distracted come in when you knock.
Yes. I think I'm poring over along with things. There's a map of the city that I've got kind of pinned behind me, and I'm looking back. Yes. Come in. Yes.
I'm sorry. You look very busy.
Oh, Charlie, no. Come in.
All right.
Can I get you some tea?
Yes, that would be lovely.
Oh, good. Well, and I'll sort of get up and go and grab just another cup and pull where I've got tea already sitting there and pour a cup for you. And please, I'm sorry. I'm looking into some things, so I admit my mind is a trifle focused, but what can I possibly do for you?
I was wondering if you I've been talking to Master Pine, and
oh really?
Yes, they said that you you were involved in an investigation. They were very impressed with you, by the way.
I have the greatest respect for Master Pine, a truly marvelous person. Grand conversationalist.
Uh, but they said you had or you were involved in an investigation that. Okay, out of character. This did involve Indigo Judgment in some way, right?
Yes. Indigo Judgment was kind of in the background, having manipulated the like events
right
in the
okay.
past for that whole mystery of the puzzle sword, including the exchange of children and all of these weird things that have been going on there.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Indeed, a very complicated case. It required a lot of my concentration and considerable help from my comrades. I'll tell you, between I suppose it was Blue Mountain Scholar at that time. Yes, Blue Mountain Scholar and Iron Lotus, and of course Somdal was there, and we had to delve quite deeply. A very complex murder, and then it led on into a whole thing that was yet another terrible murder having to do with a sword. It was really very convoluted.
Every time I hear about it, it gets more convoluted. Every time I think I understand what happened.
You should read Somdal's
hear another
history
account. There was someone else involved, Indigo Judgment, and
yes.
I was wondering what your impression of him was.
I will start by saying I find Somdal to be an exemplary historian. And it is unfortunate that so many of the other historians are, pardon my phrase, a bit of fuddy-duddies. Very uptight, a little unpleasant when I met him. And that Sister Lashana, oh my goodness, don't get me started there. But I believe that, unlike Somdal, who is such a stickler for facts, I'm sort of glossing over the fact that he lets me sort of shine up my own parts and things. That this Indigo was more than willing to omit enormous parts of Wusha history for his own benefit. The fostering, or dare I say, outright hostage exchange of children. It led to a lot of the difficulties of the case.
You said Blue Mountain Scholar was there too.
Yes.
Did he do anything that would, I guess, make Blue Mountain Scholar particularly suspicious of him or see him as a threat?
Make Indigo, eh? Well, Blue Mountain Scholar was certainly a part of unrooting the truth. Perhaps I cannot imagine Indigo wanted as much of the facts to come out as did. And Blue Mountain Scholar was a big part of that. But I don't know, rumors have hit me that perhaps the enmity was even prior to that.
I was just thinking, I haven't heard any rumors of that he has anything against you, and you were certainly involved, and you were usually apparently the most visible part of these things. So
let me say that you have been lucky to meet Blue Mountain Scholar when he's in a much more genial and pleasant mood. I can remember him being a bit more irascible in a lot of occasions, but here of late he's certainly been a little more easy to get along with. It's entirely possible that the old coot would have said something to Indigo that would have certainly set him off. Or, more than that, he may have learned something that Indigo didn't want out.
I thought he seemed to have mellowed with age a bit.
Have you heard something? Are you afraid for Blue Mountain's safety?
Not yet, I don't think, but I think it might be going that direction. I'm not sure. I do know
Yes.
that Indigo Judgment has something against him and apparently has some plans. I'm not sure what kind of plans.
Blue Mountain has taken on your service as a protector. Is that not correct?
That is correct. That's why I'm trying to head off whatever is planned.
I will say that I would appreciate as well if you keep a close eye on the old man. I'm very fond of him, despite all I say.
Me too, but he seems to be out of town right now. He left. He didn't even tell me.
Oh, he
Which
pops in
I
and
suppose
out.
he must not fear for his safety, but
I don't think he fears for it sufficiently, I will say that.
it's concerning.
If you learn of anything, or if you get a lead and you have a desire for some help, do not hesitate to call upon me. With Indigo in town and all of the hoopla of these festivities, well, nefarious deeds can be hidden when there is much chaos about.
Yes, you're right.
Is there
You're
anything
muted.
else I could help you with? Oh,
So I'm going to cut
Oh.
there. Iron Lotus, what has drawn you off? Has like what affairs have you had to kind of keep up with that have drawn you away from your companions? Is it matters of the heart, or is it work, or what has drawn you?
Ooh, I think the faction that I'm a part of, the Broken Circle, we got a good lead about where certain people are, including my brother. And so it distracted me for a long while, but it ended up completely fruitless. Like it was obvious our conspirators had left a false trail for us to follow, right? Wasting valuable time and resources. And so I've returned empty-handed.
Excellent. So you have had that, and you are heading back to check in on Baoshi, and I think as you are doing that, kind of crossing your path, that kind of cloak up. That's the limit to their disguise kind of thing. You will see Songbird Jun kind of heading off in a parallel direction.
Yeah, I think when I see that, I go behind, like there's a merchant nearby that sells certain things and someone who's like buying something. I go behind the stall and take on the disguise of looking like that average NPC, right? In order to like follow Songbird June from a distance. Just to see what June is
Absolutely.
up to. I
This
absolutely trust June. Should be fine.
little risky here. Let's have you make an overcome roll.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm being Yeah, fairly. Let's see. Really like. Yeah, I think I'm just keeping all of my senses open to try to see what I can pick up from afar. So I'm gonna roll with water. Let's see. Ooh, a 7, barely. Yeah, I got a 7.
I think you will see Songbird June make his way kind of carefully, cautiously, maybe a little bit worried, maybe a little bit trepidatiously. And you see him go to one of the fancy estates in town. You see Imperial guards are around that area. And I think you've picked up that there's this arrival of an Imperial group. And you've now heard that this sort of mayoral sub-estate, the kind of palace there, has been given over to the Imperial guests and so on. And you will see Songbird June make their way over, and they meet with another figure who is cloaked there. And the two of them walk and look like they are from going to a side entrance to go in. And here's the complication. Iron Lotus, says Rising Phoenix. That is you, right? Sorry. Yes, it is you, right? Oh, you are in a guise. Sorry. My enthusiasm overtook me.
Oh my gosh. The fact that she can see through my disguise is amazing, though.
She can see through one layer.
It's one of those like the himbo is smarter than they realize.
Have I ruined something?
I think like I pull Rising Phoenix close, and it's one of those slow motion, whoosha, pulling in things.
They stumble against you. Okay, that kind of thing where you have to hold them up and your arm has to go around to steady them. She says, sorry, I lost my footing there. I apologize.
Let's see. I think I take that moment when she stumbles and she doesn't look at me directly to like use painted skin again to like change it to golden peony. And I'd be like, oh, it's Rising Phoenix. It's been a while since you confused me for my brother.
Like her face goes red. She's it was at a distance, and there was a horse that went by, and it kicked up the dust in my eyes, and it clearly clouded my vision, and I'd had I was eating this honey bun, and I was distracted by that.
And I lift up a sleeve and I say, Rising Phoenix, are you saying I'm a little horse-faced today?
No, never, no. I mean, who would ever say that someone as beautiful as you, so wondrous and delicate and feminine and smell good, would ever say you're no. I mean, yeah, I've seen some beautiful horses, like military horses and things like that. So there are beautiful horses, but I wouldn't say horse faced. It's not a thing I would say. Though it seems like I've said it now.
Well, Rising Phoenix, you said many things, but all of them are charming.
Yes, I am the soul of charm. You have been away for some time. I spoke with your brother to see about you, but he said that you were occupied with family business, and I went by your house maybe only once. People might say they've been by several times, but it was probably just the once. They might have mistook me for someone else. when I was by there. So how are you?
I'm good. And there's a moment where like I'm trying to like look past her to see if like should I not? And
Yeah, they vanished
I'm
into the
good.
estate.
Yeah. And I say, but I do think I would be better if I could spend some time. Perhaps we could have some tea, maybe.
Yes, yes, that would be lovely. That would be lovely. The honey bun was not filling at all. So yes,
We'll have to find you something else even sweeter then.
yes. We should go. Yes. And she will go to join you and sit with you with tea and she does ask like what what have you been up to that you just has so taken up your attention? Has the family made too many demands upon you?
Oh, no, no. My brother is there to handle the the burden of responsibility. I am living life as a woman should of my station. I say pampered and taken care of course. I would not push myself to to have ambitions of any kind. I'm
No,
not
no,
like you,
you should.
Rising Phoenix.
Your gifts and your skill. You just need someone, someone to help you, to lift you up, to protect you.
Oh, I see.
I mean
Could
support. I mean
you?
support. That's what I meant. Not protect. Not delicate flower, but someone like say a wushu warrior who could lift you up and help you in your endeavors.
Sounds like you have someone in mind.
Uh, uh, I'm sure we
Or,
could think of someone. You're very smart.
well, be, I wouldn't call myself something as unseemly as smart. I say, smiling,
Oh, no,
but
you should. That is not a virtue that I can lay claim to, but I know that you are and can.
well, you have many, many virtues, Rising Phoenix.
Well, yes. Well, um, uh, uh, there is to be a a lantern festival happening tomorrow evening. Perhaps you would join me and we could walk among the stalls and view the lights and the lanterns as they let them go over the river.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. That sounds, and I think like there's a moment where Golden Phoenix is like, should I? Is this? Oh, I think this is inner conflict.
I
I think
was
this is inner
about to
conflict.
say,
I was gonna say. Okay, okay. All right, I'm gonna roll. What am I trying to do? I just don't want her to get caught up in like all the shenanigans that are happening, especially everything that she's done for the family already. So I'm gonna say it is probably like Earth, like just
okay.
trying to stay calm. All right, so okay. Ah, that's a 5.
That is a 5. So go ahead and mark your Earth. And I think that the worst possible thing that could happen at this moment for the two of you is Song Da walks in. and you see Song Da. Song Da, of course, doesn't recognize you because you're not Iron Lotus right now. But he does see Rising Phoenix. And so there's a curious look on his face because Rising Phoenix has clearly reached out, has your hands like, yes, 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 yes. And Song Da, you see Rising Phoenix, who you know is probably a rival for Iron Lotus's attention. And you see that she seems to be in deep conversation conspiratorially with Iron Lotus's sister, Golden Peony, who I think you've met in passing once or twice.
Yes, I think I've seen her briefly.
And it's very clear that Golden Peony has seen you and you've seen her.
Rising Phoenix.
Hands come back. Master Historian, how goes the writing?
Well, you know, there's pages that need to Golden Peony.
Yes.
Oh, do you two know
Master
one another?
Sangha.
Oh, you do. I should be quiet then.
No, of course.
Well, I mean,
I say Master Sangha was of great assistance to me and my brother, as you know.
yes,
But
your brother, Iron Lotus, I say, staring directly at Rising Phoenix. Because I'm apparently admonishing Rising Phoenix for not paying attention to Iron Lotus. What is happening here?
Yes, what Iron Lotus, you must work closely with him, Sangda.
Yes, I work closely with Iron Lotus regularly, very closely.
He and I are childhood friends.
He and I have become almost like childhood friends. We
And
are
Rising
so
Phoenix
close
says,
after.
then it is like we are our brother and sister as well.
Is that what just happened?
Yes, come and sit and join us.
Oh, I can't think of anything to say.
Good. I like that. That's my natural state, not being able to think of a thing to say. But yes, tea.
It sits very awkwardly, obviously between the two of them.
All right. So, Master Songda, which history are you writing now?
Oh, well, I've been going through and working on the history of the Golden House of Song. The real, well, redoing the history. There are obviously many histories, obviously, of the house already, but they weren't sufficient.
Ah. Well then.
Yes.
I should probably.
Oh my! Would you look at the sun?
Yes.
I need to be. I have just appointments. But it was the tea.
Yeah. So, Mistress Golden Peony, I will see you tomorrow evening.
Yes. And Golden Peony is like very pointedly like not looking at Sangda, and like shoulders are like really rigid and awkward. Of course. Yes. I will see you. I will see you then.
Then I will go. And she rushes off and leaves you two alone.
you had somewhere to be, Master Songda. I wouldn't want to keep you from the sun's movements.
Oh, well, I just needed to meet with. There's an important. I just need to discuss things with people about stuff.
Right, right. I did hear that my brother was looking for you. He's recently returned.
Oh, he's been so conspicuously away.
Yes, there were unfortunately matters of family that demanded his attention, and I am too weak to address them myself. So my brother had to take over.
Oh, well, I suppose it's good he's here to take care of these sort of things for you. Iron Lotus is very responsible. Takes care of things. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Well, there was tea. Lovely
Yes, warm,
day.
now cold, not
Well,
like sun
there's
warm. Mm.
it's not cold, cold. It's a little above room temperature.
Mm. Are
But
you
you have
cold? Do you?
no. I'm fine. I have
Oh,
sufficient clothes.
yes, yes, that's good. I can see you are wearing a sufficient amount. Yes,
As you also are dressed.
I am. Yes, sufficiently. I so
Oh yes, yes. No, I didn't mean to imply there was. I'm just going to appointments.
yes, yes. I'll tell my brother that I ran into you.
Lovely to see you and your guest.
My guest. Yes, and I reach out to shake your hand.
Oh, yes, that's thank you.
And I'm going to cut there. La Song Shanai, you are looking over various things, and there is a knock, and you do have servants in the household. We will assume that they come in during the day to take care of things, give you plenty of space. But the maidservant will come in and will say, there is a representative from the Verdant Sword Alliance here.
Well, very well. And I will go to greet them.
And you will go out and you will see Grave of Saints is there.
Oh, and I said, oh, Grave of Saints. How lovely to see you again, please. Please come in. And she will do the thing where she sort of steps close to him so that he knows where she is, and then she will sort of walk towards where they're going. It's not like she grabs his arm or anything, but she knows that he moved.
I had hoped to speak with you, but I'd also hoped to speak with your uncle or your great uncle, though I was told that he was away at the moment.
Yes, he has traveled out. He just sort of stops. There are some people who have gone missing that he is looking for. But please, sit down.
And he will sit and he will say, he is looking into the vanishing of some of the Wulin
Yes.
young bravos.
She goes, some of the young bravos, but some of the older, and she sort of stops and she goes, some of the men of the last age, the masters, who retreated up into the various mountains. 2 from White Mountain, 1 from Black Mountain, another one from Blue Mountain.
That is interesting.
And she sort of stops and says, which of the bravos are you aware of? The young ones. And she goes, hold on a minute, I will go and get the notes. And she'll come back.
Well, I had heard that those masters had gone missing. That there is something unusual in that. We have also had people go missing from the Verdant Sword Alliance. And I had thought there was a pattern, but I was mistaken about someone who went missing. And so
Who was the one that you thought went missing that did not?
I had thought that the young Bravo Iron Lotus had vanished, but he is still here. I know that the different mountain sages are affiliated with different elements,
Yes.
and with fire, water, and earth,
Mhm.
and for the Verdant Sword are associated with wood. And I thought that perhaps this missing Iron Lotus, I know that their family is associated with metal. So I wondered if there was some pattern in that regard. But given that that has not happened and not the case, perhaps I was wrong in my assumptions.
And she sort of stops and she goes, there's a man named Ninth Raven who is a good friend of Iron Lotus's. He believes Iron Lotus has gone missing.
But I heard that Iron Lotus was at the party.
And she says yes. And he has met that Iron Lotus, and he still believes that Iron Lotus has gone missing. I cannot see it.
You cannot see it. I don't know if I be able to perceive it, but it worries
Have
me.
you ever spoken to Iron Lotus?
No, I only know them by reputation.
Unfortunate.
And not a good reputation, I will say.
No. The current Iron Lotus seems to be pleasant enough. I suspect it is someone who's attached themselves to Baoshi in hopes of finding what has happened to Iron Lotus.
Interesting.
But I can't prove it. I can't see it. I've tried everything. I wouldn't dare say a word to anyone else.
Well, I will not then either, if you think it unseemly to do that.
I will speak to this Iron Lotus at some point. Actually, very soon. Things are getting fraught.
And then he kind of stops and he says, I know that your great uncle informed you of some of the goings on with the, puzzle sword investigations and so on.
Yes.
I worry for you. There are Imperial forces that are present now in the city.
Heard
And
that
they're,
Lord Yao was with them.
yes. We both know that there are secrets that they would like to be kept hidden. And who knows what lengths they will go to bury the truth. I fear before all of this is done, someone will be murdered. And I think that's where we're going to take our first break there on
Right.
that.
Oh no!
Line.
Why did he have to say it?
He didn't start thinking about things. He didn't go,
Yeah, that's
be his death warrant. So let's take 10 and then we'll come back. Here. So of course we have the stone that is at the top of the hill that is the mystery itself. It's at some point the events that will draw us in there. But I do want to give another chance and do a once around. If there are characters you want to talk to, whether that's plot moving characters or not, I give each of you a chance to call a scene. I know I actually think I want to start with Song Da because it kind of brought you in on Iron Lotus's scene there, and see if you want to talk to Bureau historians or you want to talk with somebody else. But think about that because I'm going to go around. We're going to have everybody have a chance to call a scene. So Song Da, what is foremost in your mind? And I think you will know that the Indigo Judgment has undoubtedly arrived in town. Sister Lushan is in town. You know, there's some other members of the Bureau of History that are also in town. If those are people that you want to talk to, or if there's someone else. So what do you think, Song Da?
I actually want to go talk to Lost Song Shanai.
Okay. Then I like to imagine that we see Grave of Saints leaving and see you arriving. Do you greet him as he's leaving, Song Da? Or do you try to stay away?
I'll nod to him and then say hello.
All right. Yeah. you nod and then you realize, and Master Song Da, it is good to hear your voice. How are you? Are you well?
I'm fine. Everything's fine. I don't know what you've heard, but I'm doing fine.
I had not heard anything, but you seem somewhat agitated.
No, I'm very happy. Things are going well, and I've made good decisions.
Well, if you feel confidence in your decisions, then that is the mark of a truly together person. I will speak with you later.
I look forward to it. Just wonderful. Have a good day.
There is a moment where you see him kind of stop and kind of pulls his head back, like, not sure what's going on there.
Song Da smiles reassuringly. Again, helpfully.
So Janai, the maidservant, would say, "There's another visitor, a master from the Bureau of Legends."
I like the idea that she's just gotten her ink like on her brush. She's got it all set up. She's going to write it. She's like, okay. Just a cleaner brush and then sort of go out. And Song Da, you must have practically run into Grave of Saints.
Oh well, no, I tried to step out of his way. That would be very rude.
Indeed. I'm glad that you are so considerate. Would you like some tea?
Yes, that would be. I mean, I never have enough tea, I guess.
That sounds like you've had tea. Would you like something else?
No. Well, no. I need to. There's something I would like to, and he puts down a very large bag beside him. I just need to talk to you about something that's been on my mind. You know, we talked the other day about things, and I was just, things were sort of crazy, and who even remembers what was. I said some things that maybe look, it would just be best if maybe I hadn't said all the things I'd said, and if we could just, you know,
And she goes, I have an idea. Why don't we talk in my study? It's very private there, okay?
yes, that would be wonderful. Great.
I am going to make some tea though. So, and she will sort of pick up your bag, and she's like, "Oh, this is heavy." And she goes, "Let's go put that in there, and then I will make you some tea."
Okay.
And she will settle you into her study, which is one of those rooms that just has like windows with kind of grates over them up high, and the light comes in and like casts shadows. I would cast light across the room, but not like on the floor per se. So there's sort of light above. And you can see that she has a nice setup for writing, and in bookshelf, or not bookshelves, scroll shelves, and like one very nice painting. But she will leave you there and give you a few moments to arrange whatever it is that you want to get arranged.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Thank you. I'm sorry. It's been a stressful. I haven't slept much.
I thought you seemed like you might be a little thirsty. And if you'd rather have some harder stuff, I can get you some of that too.
No, maybe after. It's just so there are obviously some tensions, misunderstandings between the bureau and your clan, and we talked about that. But I may have overshared with. It may not have been wise to speak outside of the bureau about some of the things, and obviously, I'm still going to look into it. And you don't have to worry anything about your clan. I'm going to take care of this whole misunderstanding and clear it up. But just so that everything, oaths and things, I just need you a little bit to, if you just forgot what I told you, that would be great. It would fix everything. It'd be like I never actually told you. So I have this solution. And he pulls out a large jug from his bag and places it on the table. This is an alchemical substance that will gently obliterate all the memories related to what we talked about. And look, there's just a mild. So it was almost a week ago, and he begins taking out about a half dozen more very large jugs. So it'll just take a little bit extra to wipe out the last 5 or 6 days, and then it'll be like, I never talked to you, and we won't have this problem, and it'll be fine.
And she sort of stops and says, "This is very funny."
Well, I will be sure to. Well, no, I won't remind you of the jug because you won't forget. You'll forget all about it.
And she goes, "Do you think that I would say something to someone?"
Well, I mean, I would hope not. I don't think so. But people might say things, and then they might infer things, and they might figure out things. And of course, there's the fact that I did. There's a lot of not talking about internal things with outside people that aren't sworn into the secret hierarchy of the historians.
She goes, "I don't think you told me anything about your secret society of historians."
Well, no, it sort of sounded like I was telling you that the leader of our faction was leading some sort of war against your whole clan. That's just silly, and I really shouldn't be telling outsiders about things like that. But not that it's true. Maybe.
And she sort of stops and she goes, "This is very interesting that there's such an alchemical substance like this." She goes, "What is in it? Or where did you get it?"
Well, there are a lot of really interesting recipes in the Bureau's histories, actually, and I did have to make a few slight substitutions because some of the ingredients, well, we're working on a timetable here, aren't we? But it should be fine.
She goes, "I don't know, there's an awful lot of that to drink. What if it's not fine?"
it'll probably be.
I'll tell you what, if you drink some and everything seems okay, I'll drink it.
She said you wouldn't tell anyone, like
I
ever.
wouldn't. I wouldn't. No. Certainly, I would never mention that you had said any of these things. That would never be part of it.
I mean, not even if there was like. I mean, things might get really rough. I mean, they have people might get upset.
You mean under torture?
Well, no, not really. They're
Do
historians.
you think that if they're torturing me, that they would be like trying to pry around to find out if they should torture you too?
Well, I hadn't really thought about that. Sounds
Yeah.
upsetting.
So see, this sounds like you pretty much got me on the hook for being tortured in the near future.
Well, again, they're historians. Torture is a strong word. We're forbidden from involvement in martial matters. Strong encouragements. Maybe large jugs of things.
Sunda, what are you afraid of?
A lot of things at this point. Did you know that Indigo Judgment's in town? Here, in town. Coincidentally, right after we didn't have any conversations. But very shortly after those conversations that we didn't have.
Ah, so you're afraid the Indigo Judgment knows about you having conversations with me.
He has these eyes, and they just sort of pick apart all the.
I understand that his skin
muscles
is actually blue.
bore
Is
into-
that true?
Oh yes, it's very upsetting. But
I
usually
thought my
he's in
great
a sort
uncle
of
was
dim
kidding
lighting
me.
setting. Oh no, quite blue. Very blue.
Does he have like breathing problems?
Well, no, I don't
Chi imbalance?
speak to his physicians very often.
And she goes, Sanda, they told you to tell them things about my uncle, right? So you would have talked to me. You would have been doing the thing they asked you to do. Don't think you need to be afraid.
Well,
Okay,
I think
and then
I'll
she
be
sort of stops when you do that. I think it's just maybe you do need to be afraid. It's because you're really nervous right now. Why are you so terrified of your own order?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be. That wouldn't be good. Surely
No.
I'm not terrified. Oh. That would be a very upsetting thing to realize, to think that you're scared of and couldn't trust the very foundation for your entire life and all of your support system and everything you've known for decades.
I would hope that it is not that way. But if it is there something I can do to help?
May I pause here to interrupt to perhaps put a question in the midst of this discussion?
Certainly.
Sangda, do you think that this rises to the level of inner conflict?
Yeah, I think having to face the fact that he's not afraid of what Lost Song Shanai is going to do, but he's afraid of what his own people are going to do. It's an upsetting thing to think about.
So what do you want to roll that with?
This is probably water. Oh no, I didn't do the thing. That's an 8.
So do you want to mark water, or do you want to like kind of realize that you need to think about this and remove yourself from the scene?
I think I'm going to mark water.
Okay.
I think it's appropriate. He's feeling a bit parched as he said, "You, you said something about stronger drinks."
Yes? Would you like some wine?
Yes, please.
I have some fine plum wine from the plums at the very top of Blue Mountain. Quite delicious.
And I'm going to cut there. Bao Shi, we kind of brought you in on Chao Lin's conversation. Who do you want to talk to? What do you want to do? Do you want to call a meeting with PC or an NPC or what?
I think that having heard from Chow, and considering what I've been asked to do, by the Imperial agent, I am actually going to see if I can go and find the historians, either Indigo or Sister Lucian. I'm trying to find whoever the highest end I can find is.
Absolutely. I think that if you ask around, you will know that the entourage of Indigo Judgment, they arrived. They are being put up at a scholar merchant's estate. They are there, and you will arrive and announce yourself, and Sister Lucian will come out. You have met her before, and she will come out and say, Master Bao Shi, they told me that you had arrived and wished to speak with someone. Can I assist you?
Certainly. If I admit this is a little unorthodox, but I have been taken upon a retainer by one of the Imperial agents to kind of check to see that things go smoothly for this visit. And, well, I felt that probably the best course of action would come to those who know the most about not only Imperial politics, but the history of this city, to maybe get a little footing into what could possibly be a threat or protocols that would be best followed. I was hoping that maybe I could sit down with you, perhaps. I wouldn't wish to bother Master Indigo.
Master Indigo Judgment has said that he wishes to speak with you one-on-one. Why don't you follow me?
I would be more than happy to.
And she'll walk you through the household here. You'll see some scholars. You see they have various scroll cases and things that they have brought, people working on things, some of the other uniforms. I think in the background, we probably see that Crystal Bao, who we've seen on screen just briefly before, another one of the Bureau of Legends people. And you'll be brought into a chamber. It is immediately cold in here. You will see seated, there's one of those low tables with the ink pot and the paper in front of them and that kind of beautiful screen behind them. And you will see Indigo Judgment, flowing blue-white hair. Skin it's still porcelain white, but it's blue underneath. And I think you have that shock of moment, like, because you remember the daughter from Verdant Sword Society, who was very clearly, like, you recognize the features now. Like, you can tell that there's, without her makeup, there was definitely a familial connection. And he has his beautiful blue flowing cloak out there, and he will say, Master Bao Shi.
Master Indigo Judgment, thank you so very much for agreeing to see me. It's a great honor.
The honor is mine.
as I mentioned to Sister Lucian, one of the Imperial attaché came to me asking if I could help facilitate the visit as much as possible, looking into anything that might cause a disruption.
Interesting. Well, come and sit. Sister Lucian, you are dismissed.
I will nod a little thanks to her as she leaves, being friendly.
So which member of the household spoke with you?
One of their advance agents. I believe that the idea was to just have someone who might know a bit about the area, a resident, who could provide a little bit of added support.
So, Master Baoshi, what questions can I answer for you?
Well, I was wondering, considering protocol, perhaps a quick refresher for me of things that would be like the procession and all of that sort of thing. Also, there has been so very many rather unusual circumstances in our area, as you, of course, are well aware.
I am well aware, yes.
And I am concerned that some of them might rise their ugly head to cause difficulties at this time. And is there anything that perhaps, anything that you might be able to lead me in the right direction to looking into to make sure things are facilitated as smoothly as possible?
It strikes me, Master Baoshi, certainly your reputation as a detective comes before you. And it strikes me that you have a question, that you have an issue that you wish answered or you wish addressed. So perhaps if you were to put that before me, we might have a more direct conversation.
The different sects in this area, there have been far too many deaths, murders, let's be honest.
Much of that goes back to the death of the master some years ago and events that occurred. But I was under the impression that the history that had rolled out from that, both at the estate of Master's son and at the tournament and so on, that those matters had been put to rest.
Suppose that is really the question I came with so much knowledge being brought to the Historian's Guild. Do you foresee some rising of those difficulties here when we have members of the Imperial sect, or Imperial court?
Sir, we are the Bureau of Legends. We speak of the past. We do not pretend to speak of the future. We do not draw inferences. We leave that to oracles and geomancers and Taoists.
I don't wish to dispute your words, but knowledge of the past is the surest. Oh, shoot. What? Sorry, my dog did something crazy. Sorry.
So
it's the surest window into what will occur.
You're asking me what I personally think is an issue or a thing that might occur.
Yes, actually, yes.
Well, it does seem to me that one of the traits, one of the patterns that we've seen throughout this is people digging into history and matters that have already been settled. So if I were to predict something, I would say that there's a real danger to anyone that would dig into matters or history or things that had already been settled. I worry for them. It causes me grave concern.
I understand. Often it is best to let the proverbial sleeping dog lie. Yes.
Very well said. Very well said.
Ah, I am working towards trying to trace some shadows here.
Absolutely. Little dangerous maneuver here, my friend.
Yeah. I think I'm going with my medal here. This is calculation and all of that. I roll boxcars, baby.
He is here at the behest of the Empress Dowager. He has been called here. He knows the Empress Dowager. They are old friends. And there is something up here. Does that seem like a fair answer?
Yeah, I like coming from, just for my information.
Yeah.
When did the former emperor pass away?
Former emperor passed away about 5 years ago. So
would have been alive during all of the crazy child swapping, right?
Yes.
I cannot tell you how much it has helped me to set my mind to rights. Indeed, all we can hope for is to provide a contemplative and pleasant visit for the imperial court at this time of great celebration. Thank you.
I will say, I am so glad to have met you. And he holds up a folio in front of him. I have been reading all of Master Song Da's reports on you. He goes into extraordinary detail about your processes, about your thinking. He certainly admires your work and he speaks of it highly.
He's a very talented historian, I should say.
I should like to say that as well.
I look forward to meeting you again at some other point.
As do I. And I think you will note that throughout the course of this, that the temperature has dropped a couple of degrees through this conversation. And you will head out.
Yeah.
Iron Lotus. Do you want to cross paths with Bao Shi now, or with Song Da, or do you have some other matter you'd like to talk to, or talk to the group? What do you think?
Ooh, yeah, I think crossing paths with Bao Shi makes sense.
I think you'll be surprised as you are heading to kind of present yourself against Bao Shi. You'll see Bao Shi heading in the streets, heading back to the office. I think you can tell. You've seen when Bao Shi is up in his mind palace, like running along, and he's walking and maybe not paying as much attention to the things around, and there'll be that moment when you have to kind of stop him from stepping out in front of a cart, kind of thing.
I was about to say, like, I just walk into the rhythm, like I'm used to doing it, of gently pushing other people aside or moving things along.
So I do think about you when you reach back to your office is you suddenly realize that Iron Lotus has been at your shoulder for some time here.
Lotus, you're back, and I think that there's like this kind of immediate reach to kind of embrace you, then a kind of moment of like, oh, I shouldn't do that, and then the sort of, oh, what the fuck, kind of oh, how I miss you. Oh, you're back. Thank goodness.
I think there's also a moment where Iron Lotus like accepts the hug and hugs back and remembers, oh wait, I'm my brother. So like remembers to turn the hug a little stiff at the last second. And pulls back and says, Master Bao Shi, I apologize that I couldn't be at your side for the last few days, I was called away by important family business, and I didn't want to interrupt you. I could tell that you were deep in thought.
You've been, and I'll give you, and there'll be that kind of realization as I'm going backwards. Oh, well, I guess, well, it's nice to have you back. And family matters, is everything all right?
Yes, there was some concern, and I do have my responsibilities, as you know, Master Baoshi, but things are as well as they could be.
Your sister as well?
Yes, she is. And then there's like that wuxia flashback to the what happened in the with Rising Phoenix and Songdam. Yes, she is well. Yes.
I'd heard she was
Mas-
sickly. I believe Somta made some sort of soup for her at one point.
Yes, Songda has been most kind in ways that I hope to repay in some fashion.
Well, good. Yeah, come in. There's so much afoot. Oh, we've got so many things. And as I open the door and head us in, I am very interested to hear all about your travels, but I really should show you what's going on right here.
Right. And so like Iron Lotus takes up the appropriate spot next to the conspiracy board and starts like organizing things a little better, like moving things so they're not so skewed, and moves aside a stack to like take up the journal. Yes, Master Baoshi, I am ready to of course take notes.
Well, I'm worried about, well, not only am I worried about this visit, I just spoke with Indigo Judgment. Quite a formidable figure. I would swear they were trying to intimidate me.
Oh, intimidate you, Master Baoshi? That is quite a tall order.
Well, I admit that even I felt a trifle bit of concern being in the presence of one's August, but I begin to think that there is something to all of what we have been encountering in the last few years. He warned me that delving too deeply might be dangerous.
And like Iron Lotus traces like several threads that are like connecting different ideas. I see what you mean, Master Baoshi. Perhaps this is connected to a greater conspiracy from behind the shadows.
I'm worried about Blue Mountain Scholar.
Oh.
I'm worried something will happen to him.
Really? But he seems capable of protecting himself. Why? What must we do?
He's taken on a very capable warrior with Zhao, but I think between the two of us, we're going to have to keep an eye out and keep our eyes and ears open. Something is afoot in all of this, and soon the pieces will begin to show themselves. You know, Lotus, and I'll kind of sit back. In all that we do, we find those who perpetrate crimes. We locate murderers. But do you know what I really wish sometimes? I wish we'd prevent murders.
Oh, yes, that would indeed be the greatest achievement. But at this rate, Master Baoshi, with your reputation, I am sure there are many would-be murderers that think a little harder about committing such crimes, knowing that you could possibly be on the case.
Well, we should try pre-detection, perhaps.
Yes, yes. I'm sure that will be a good course of action. I don't know who says this, but like he's a little like, It's like,
Well, please do tell me all that's been going on with you. And I would like to maybe work into, I don't know if this is your thing, but you want to go into a comfort to support sort of thing, or what are
ooh,
I directed too much of your scene. What are you wanting to do?
ooh. Let's see, let's see. Yeah, I feel like comfort and support makes sense actually. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to I feel like actually it might be that Iron Lotus is trying to show Master Baoshi support, right? To not flag in this moment, to have more confidence with our mysterious indigo judgments and the encroaching storm that's coming. Right. So yeah, I think I'm Master Baoshi, you shouldn't ignore the great work that you have done for others, the light that you have been in the dark for many of us.
Baoshi, what do you want to roll that comfort and support with?
Is it me rolling, or is it Lotus rolling?
Are you helping Lotus, or is Lotus helping you?
Yeah, I feel like it's more like me helping
Baoshi? Okay.
yeah.
So what do you want to roll that with?
Yeah. I think it's gonna be water. So let's roll with that. Okay. Ooh, a 12.
Okay. So you both can
Yes.
clear an element or
Mhm.
gain a bond with the other.
Ooh.
How
Let's
clear?
see. Yeah. Yeah.
And I
I'm
would
going to go ahead.
no, make your pick.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm actually going to give them a bond with me. Right. So you can go ahead and take that.
And I think as you two are kind of talking, I have a tag on to the end of this scene. There is a knock at the door, Iron Lotus. And I assume that you will go in.
Yeah, of course. Immediately, like set aside the journal and answer the door.
And you'll see this gentleman in a beautiful cloak with fur trim to it, tall, handsome. You see he has a man in livery of an Imperial Guardsman behind him with that kind of beautiful hat there. And this gentleman goes, "Oh, I beg your pardon. I am here to see Master Baoshi. If he is available, if he is busy or has other business, I do not wish to interrupt."
No. I am his assistant, Iron Lotus, and of course, Master Baoshi can see you. If I may announce your presence.
Yeah. You see the guy behind him, the Imperial Guardsman, like is staring at you like and then composes himself. But this is I'm Black Pearl.
Of course. One moment, please.
Yes, absolutely.
And I go over to Master Baoshi. Master Baoshi, it seems we have guests who seek your wisdom. It is Master Black Pearl, and they have a certain royal air about them. Shall I let them in?
Yes, this is the one who I told you had taken us on retainer to facilitate the visit.
Oh, of course. Yes. And so I return and I say, yes, Master Baoshi has been expecting you. I apologize. I have been absent for the last few days.
No, please. And he will let you kind of gesture for them to go in. The Imperial Guardsman kind of moves and kind of places himself at a corner, kind of at a distance from you, kind of watching Baoshi and watching you maybe more. And Black Pearl will come in and he'll say, Master Bao Shi, I apologize for not having sent a message in advance.
Oh, no, please be welcome. I apologize for the mess. I am deep in work on what we've spoken of.
Oh, excellent. I apologize for the presumptuousness, Master Iron Lotus. I do not know if Master Bao Shi has told you I work as an advance person for the Imperial Court, and we're making preparations. I had asked Master Bao Shi to keep an eye out to see if he had seen or knew of anything. In particular, we're worried about assassins that might be present in the city. But my coming here is actually a more how do I put this, felicitous thing. The Empress Dowager is holding a dinner this evening with a number of important people from the city. She wishes to get to know the heartbeat of this place. And I have been instructed to invite you and any of your comrades you wish to bring with you to attend.
Truly, my goodness, that is a tremendous honor.
There will be quite a few people there, so it will be an honor, but there will be a lot of people there. I don't want
I understand, but just to be thought of, that is a great kindness.
Master Iron Lotus, I hope that you will be able to attend.
Of course, it would be my honor.
This is Hell, the lead Imperial Guardsman for the Empress's entourage here. He deigned to accompany me. He likes to know the faces of everyone who will be attending. So that guy doesn't say anything, but does nod and bow to both of you.
You say my companions that
you'd mentioned that you had some people. Look, I know you've worked with Blue Mountain Scholar in the past, and I understood there was a historian attached to your entourage.
Yes, indeed, yes. Well, wonderful. I will make sure to extend this invitation.
Please do. I wanted to tell you this in person. I'm very, very pleased, and I think it should make for a very interesting dinner.
I look forward to seeing you there, and again, I'm very deeply honored to have been thought of.
And he will bow and he said, "Well, we will take our leave then." And they will go to leave, but not without Hell looking back at you. One more surreptitious glance, Iron Lotus, before they head out.
Oh, we have to send messages. Oh my goodness. Blue Mountain Scholar. I don't know if he's in town. I wonder if I could take Lost Song instead. And Red Song Doll will need to know, and of course I'm sure Chow wants to come, but I will have to put on something grand as I head back towards my wardrobe.
I immediately start with the invitations and the letters to send out.
A beautiful handwork there. All right. Chow Lin. Do you have a scene that you would like to call? Or a move you want to make or something of that sort?
Yeah. Let's see. What was I? Who is it? There was someone I was going to talk to that I did not talk to last time. I'll look at the name. I believe it was Blue Mountain Sentinel.
Absolutely. That is Lost Song Janai's uncle,
Uh-huh.
and essentially then Blue Mountain Scholar is another uncle up in that sort of line of
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can call upon him. He will greet you a little more perhaps solid and perhaps more curt than the other people that you've met, but he will say, so you are our Master Qiaolin. You worked with my niece and her menagerie.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. Okay. I did not think this through.
Come and sit. You seem out of sorts. Come and sit. I've heard your name before, but in passing, but I don't know. Your particular reputation. So who are you, Master Qiaolin? Tell me that.
I am I'm merely a bodyguard and hired hand. I've been hired as security and assistance by Blue Mountain Scholar.
Oh, by Blue Mountain Scholar, he hired a guard.
Guard and well, he had to leave town, and he did not want his niece to be left this is
So
actually what brings me here.
So you're guarding his niece rather than him.
I am
You seem a little tongue-tied.
As I am told.
Is it that you've come to ask me for advice? Because I have advice for you.
I would appreciate it.
Absolutely. So she's not like other young ladies. That if you are to court her, there you must focus on the academic art. She's quite a poet. Even I will admit that. And so ask to listen to her poetry. That is a good way into her good graces.
Oh, I do appreciate that very much. I am not intending to court your niece.
That's a pity. She needs to be married.
She is very young.
She's not as young as all that.
I do, however, I am concerned. About Blue Mountain Scholar as well. Has he mentioned to you any disputes with Indigo Judgment?
With the Bureau of Legends leader?
Yes.
No, that's unusual. I mean, the only dealings that I have had is with Song Da, who was very rude when he visited me, when I offered him gracious hospitality. But Indigo Judgment, no. And you see him stop and is thinking, like, that's what makes you ask that?
I've heard rumors that he has sees the Mountain Scholar as a threat and may move against him in some way.
But that would suggest that would suggest that Blue Mountain Scholar's current case, or the thing that he has been working on for some time, is causing worry to Indigo Judgment. Interesting. That seems very odd to me. The Bureau of Legends is a important and auspicious organization. Blue Mountain Scholar is, how do I put this? Is a man given to keeping his own counsel.
He is that.
I have the greatest of respect for him, though I will deny that if you say that to him. But he has never. I've never been allowed into his circle of thinking quite as his apprentice. Lost Jedi has been. I suspect she may have a better sense of this, but I wonder. This does make me think. Let me look into this and see if I can uncover anything.
Yes. If you find anything, please let me know. I will do the same.
All right. Where are you staying, Master Chalid?
And I tell him the inn where I'm staying.
I see. All right. Well, we'll speak with you again. And he will thank you for your attentions. And as you go out, he does say, so you're absolutely not courting my niece?
No, I'll tell you something though. I believe that Song Da has an interest in your niece.
Let's hope my niece had better taste than that. And he gets his hackles up and I must go. Lost Song Shanai.
Yeah, I think after kind of how do you say, calming Sangda down, having some nice wine, I
not drinking 8 liters of mystery fluid.
No, I think I wait until he's gone, and then I put them into, I like carry them down one by one very carefully into the basement, and I put them into a box, and I put like the skull and crossbones, on it, and the Mr. Yuck face and everything that I can to go, don't taste this, and I put that in a box there. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with it, but yeah, I think that is what I do, and then I am going to go and find Ninth Raven.
Okay. So you will go and track down Ninth Raven. He is engaged in essentially preparations for the various ceremonies. He belongs to a school, and they are laying out in the hopes that there will be an imperial visit while they are there. But he is there, and again, we haven't really described this, but the Ninth Raven does fight essentially not with a blade, but with a switch. He has a switch of cut green wood that he fights with. You know that it remains verdant, his strong wood chi. So he will greet you. Lost Ocean, it has been too long.
It has, and she
Bring
stops
news
and,
from your great uncle?
unfortunately not. He has had to leave.
Ah,
But
I thought he was so close to finding out the secret of Iron Lotus.
well, I've been looking into it too. In
Oh,
some
you
ways,
have?
it's easier for me to place myself near.
Well, let us go inside and sit down, and you can tell me all the secrets that you've uncovered. Tell me, is Iron Lotus a doppelganger?
And
Was I right
stops.
about the sweets?
I think you were.
Yes, I knew it.
The thing is, I can't see through. I can't see through the disguise, but I'm convinced the more and more that this goes on. And she goes, I'm actually going to go and speak to them. I have no doubt that they will push me off, but is there something that you can tell me about Iron Lotus that you think that only the two of you know the answer to?
When we were younger, he and I would sneak out of town, and there was a beautiful, crystal clear lake just at the base of the mountain. And we would go there and we would swim, our taut young bodies glistening with the water. And then we would sit out together and lay and dry ourselves under the stars and sun. Perhaps you could remind him of that and see if he remembers.
Very good. I will do that. Thank you. And she goes, I'll go back and tell you what the words are. But she goes, that many things are changing right now. I think that this is your best chance to discover what has happened.
I had heard a thing that I might pass on to you that I hadn't said, but I had heard a rumor that Iron Lotus had gone to Bad Valley some time ago.
Interesting.
That seemed out of well.
Does it though?
That is the thing. That is the thing. Is I wonder if I am wrong and that his time amongst those criminals and vagabonds might be what has changed him.
But why would he have so completely disappeared?
I do not know. I do not know. I think one thing one day, and I think another thing another day, and then there are two different things that I have thought.
Oh no, it is not helpful. I understand completely. All right. Well, let us see if we can find some resolution to this. And even if we can't, at least then you have someone else that you know is thinking two things. Okay.
Then we will be taking a total of four things.
Exactly. It's terrible. But someone has to bear the burden. It's you. It's me.
Excellent. Well, it's good. And I will trust you to handle the matter, even though I had hoped to employ your great uncle, but needs must.
He says that he is too old to mingle with that set.
That's fair. That's fair. All right.
All right. And then she walks off and she's doing this. What? Bad Valley. What a strange place to have come up so often.
Do you want to do the Iron Lotus meet now, or do you want to hold off on that?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay. So where do you find Iron Lotus?
I have been there in the household enough to know the times when Iron Lotus is, how should we say, isolated from Bauchi. And so I will wait. And I know that there is a point in the afternoon where Bauchi goes for his nap. It's necessary for his little gray cells to be well rested in the evening, which is not his happiest time. And so I know that typically Iron Lotus goes and takes care of all of the matters of the household, but always goes out to the well out there to get water and take it back in to clean the threshold. That's like something they always do, and it's a very good and sensible thing to do. I also do the same thing for my own house.
So I think as as Iron Lotus is you're returning back to the offices with the water, you will see La Saint Genai kind of waiting for you.
And I say, "Oh, greetings, uh, Lady Lost Song tonight. Should I?" Master Bashi is taking
Taking his
a
nap.
rest.
Mhm.
Yes.
I know.
So he's a little indisposed, but I can take a message for you.
Oh, you needn't do that. I've actually come to speak to you.
Oh, and I bring in the water. And what do I? Oh, the pleasure. My sister speaks very highly of you.
Oh, oh yes, that's right. She's very kind. And I
Yeah,
kind
she
of,
says that you taught her many things about womanhood that were surprising. Thank you for taking her under your tutelage. She doesn't have many many people to learn from ever since the loss of our mother. But please do come in.
so many tragedies. And I think she will come and say, I just wanted to say, there's so many rumors swirling around these days, but one came to my ear, and I thought that perhaps you would wish to know. See, there's a rumor going around that you are hanging around Bad Valley. And I simply wouldn't think it of you.
Oh, well, it's strange to me how this rumor came to be, but I do appreciate your concern.
And she sort of stops and goes, I just wonder if someone is, perhaps someone who looks like you. I can't imagine that. And she'll peer at you very closely.
And I think like I notice will also coming closely. Are you saying that my facial features are that unique? I am but a plain person. I suppose it would be easy for me to look like someone else, though you yourself, Lost Songs, and I have a thoroughly unique appearance, I must say.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say. I think that, and she sort of looks a little worried, like towards one of the many mirrors, and she goes, yes, the nose. Anyway, she doesn't seem particularly pleased with that. But that is neither here nor there. That friend of yours, or I guess former friend of yours, Ninth Raven, he still contends that, well, you do seem to have cast him off. Perhaps it is just that he is very saddened by that.
Yes, I do admit that over the years I have failed to remain a good friend to Ninth Raven. It is sad when things like this happen, but we all grow and change. I am sure there are friends that you have lost along the way, though are sad to see them go.
Oh, no, I usually keep up with everyone. I write a lot of letters. And she sort of stops and she goes, but, if you wish to go out to Bad Valley to look into the matters there, I would happily accompany you.
Oh, I couldn't possibly endanger you. That would be most irresponsible. I'm sure your uncle would be most unhappy with me if I were to do so.
My uncle? Well, Blue Mountain Sentinel's unhappy about everything. That's not anything I need to worry over. She goes, no, I thought I should tell you because it could be an attempt to stain your reputation.
I do appreciate the concern. It is most touching. I would not have thought that you would care to you would come to care for me so deeply.
She goes, you are very close to Baoshi, who is my dearest friend. I would not like for anything unhappy to occur in his life.
Yes, and that I too would do everything I can to protect Master Baoshi and his happiness. Which actually, well, since we're so forthcoming with each other, La Shang and I, there is someone I'm concerned about. As you may know, Master Baoshi and Songbird Jun are somewhat close, but ever since the last mystery, there is something about Songbird Jun that strikes me as dishonest.
Well, he is from an unorthodox sect. I mean, inherently, they're a very cautious group. No one trusts the unorthodox.
True enough, as is the appropriate reaction. But I did happen to see that Songbird Jun was talking well, you understand, Lost Songjanites. I do not have the gift of the hunch as my master does, but
And she
there
sort of
was
looks at
something
you
off.
and her eyebrow goes up.
I did see him conversing with someone, and I must stress that this simply could be nothing but. Would you help me keep an eye out for Songbird Jun just to protect Master Baoshi? I would love to be wrong and to be simply overprotective, but if I would fail to protect Master Baoshi's heart, it would wound me deeply.
Oh, his heart.
Did I say that? Perhaps I misspoke. I would not want to presume.
And she goes, don't know. Baoshi gives his heart away completely and utterly over and over again. He's survived so far, but I understand your concern. Certainly, I could go and check on Songbird Jun. Is there anything else that you think I should go?
Then.
Oh, what a fine idea. She goes, all right. But again, if you choose to go out to check out what is going on in Bad Valley, I would certainly be happy to accompany you.
I promise that if the thought occurs to me, I will be reaching out to you to let you know.
And she sort of stops like, for some reason, I do think what you were looking for may have ties there. Then she will go.
I like the idea too that during this conversation between the two of you, maybe as the camera has been moving around, we've seen the actors switch, and now it's Blue Mountain Scholar and Golden Peony, and that kind of switches, and we get that back and forth, so we see all four identities sort of swapping through. Let's take a quick bio break, and then we'll come back and we're going to kind of just do a little bit of frame up for where we're going to start next session. So that is the plan. So let's take 5 and we'll be right back. So this is the most important question. All of you obviously accept the invitation that is given. Tell me about your outfit. Okay. Baoshi, how are you dressed? What have you added to your ensemble to make an impression? This is the Empress Dowager. I think we will see that there is a fine, got this nice estate. There's clearly the temple is there, but there's been a big area set out for honored guests to come and attend at this large feast. How are you? What do we see you dressed like?
Well, I tend towards lighter colors anyway, whites, but I think that I'm going with something this time that is a very pale blue. I mean, very pale blue, with sleeves that do the drop all the way down to the floor, even when my hands are up here. So they dip all the way down. And when I drop my hands, they cover my hands. I'm doing kind of my normal scholar hat, that kind of shaped, very structured hat. But along with that, I have, normally it's kind of a bit more of a robe look, but I have a split in the front so that you can see I'm wearing a kind of, I guess, parachute pants.
Okay.
It's the sort of thing I'm going with, but they are bigger harem pant type
Right.
of look.
Yeah. Flowing.
That's, that's done in a steel pale but deeper than the robe blue silk.
Excellent. And I think we see you're there. We see the very entourage who are present. We'll see Black Pearl, who we've already seen on screen before, who is there greeting guests. And I think this is the first time that we see the abbot of the temple, Abbot Yulong. He is there. He has clearly been asked to attend. There are some other monks and so on, but he is present amongst the company. That sort of look of holiness and thoughtfulness and contemplation that goes with him. Songda, how are you dressed?
So I think I've, after several strong but polite suggestions, had to stop borrowing Baoshi's clothes. But I still like some of the things that he was letting me wear, so I've gone and gotten some slightly fancier robes, but not like over the top, not like bright colors. He's not crazy or anything.
Right.
But it's like a deep blue with like silvery embroidery going through it. But I think very like distinctly it is very like cobalt blue and not like indigo blue. It's very similar to like the Blue Mountain color.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. And he even has he's got his little like monocle half glasses there, and it's tinted a blue color, the lens in it as well.
And we will see from our last mystery, Gucheng Jianfei, who is that older merchant gentleman, who you will know is essentially the person who is the representative of the merchants in the city, kind of the person who will petition for imperial rights and privileges and so on. And with him, he's accompanied by what you all will know is there is a mayor, but he's kind of does mayor things, but there is a figure that is kind of behind the scenes, pulling the strings in city business affairs, wealth, power, privilege, all of that. And that is Master Zhajing, dressed in white and grays. His picture is there. He knows everyone's name. He greets all of you with the proper respect and so on, always smiling. Though I think there is that moment where you see he's smiling, talking to you, and then he turns away and his face goes back to being kind of, now I got to go do this thing. But he is highly placed. Janai, do you go as Janai?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, absolutely.
And how are you dressed?
I think that she's wearing those like super light, thin layers of silk, like the sleeves and things and the colors are deep green with essentially a pattern of trees, like tree leaves on it. But the robe underneath that is the more opaque silk is actually in a sort of cream color and is a map of essentially the roads from Blue Mountain to Stone's Gate. And it's not like it's labeled in any way, but if you know the thing, you would recognize some of the uh, the twists and turns and things like that. But it's like done very lightly and very classically. Like it's like just one of those things that was, how do you say, made for her as a gift at one time, and it's a treasured dress that she's like made and remade as she's grown older.
And I think as all of this busyness is going on and stuff, I think you will see, of course, draws your attention. You will see a young woman in lovely fur, feather, and blue robes who has some scrolls with her. Clearly, like maybe like imperial business or something like that. She's kind of looking around at everything, and then you will see a woman in an imperial guard outfit, who is dressed in white but with that sort of shocking black cap, who will come over and kind of intercept the scroll carrying woman and suggest that she doesn't need to be in the sight of everyone, that she should probably go off to the side. And so we see Winter Iris, our librarian, being led off by Lady Fathom off to the side there. And Iron Lotus, how are you dressed? Are you going as Iron Lotus? Are you going as Golden Peony? And how are you dressed? You're muted.
There we go. I forgot to press the thing. I'm going as Iron Lotus, and the outfit, this particular handful is the color of the river at twilight. So it has a very like burnished metal iron set of colors to it, dark grays and purples, and there's silver embroidery of lotuses that are like reaching out through the water, but there are like several peonies that are also opening up along the sleeves to hint at the strong bond I have with my sister. We're so close as a family. But yeah, and so, but it's a kind of outfit that's meant to be beautiful to look at, but doesn't draw the eye. But if the eye finds its way there, it will find it pleasing to look at.
Very nice. And I think you will see an older gentleman who's kind of observing everyone. You have the sense from what you've heard that he is not a member of the imperial household, but like a retired general of some repute, denying Hay, and like he definitely has a been through the shit kind of look to him, and definitely the sense that he didn't arrive here with the imperial entourage, but separately. And then also I think there is that bit where that guardsman Hell watches you like he knows something's up.
Yeah, I kind of go like at him. Bad idea.
He watches carefully, and arms go crossed when you stare back. And Chow Lin, how are you dressed?
I think the way in which Chelin is dressed up isn't so much like the style of the clothes as like they're newer and they're very colorful. Like blues and greens. Like I think Chelin may be colorblind, and like these are colors that even he can see. He thinks he's being subtle.
Excellent. And I think we see some other figures come in. I think we see a handsome gentleman in white, who you will note kind of stays out of La Song Genai's eye line for quite a bit there. But I think at some point you will catch sight of that mystery man that you've seen before, Genai. He has clearly been invited. We will see Lord Yao, our villain from a couple mysteries ago arrive and sit. There's another figure who kind of hovers at the edges, maybe watching before he leaves. This Moon and Thunder figure. You probably see the abbot go over and speak with him, and then he heads on. And we will also see Indigo Judgment and Sister Lu Shang will arrive at the meal. And then you'll see this beautiful handmaiden in black and silver come out and kind of say something to the abbot and to the others, as if to say, gather yourselves, and attention is turned, and you will see enter in Lady Shen, the Dowager Empress, in brilliant imperial yellows, saffron colors, comes through red indiscreet places there. And with her is this young prince who has this silver metal mask on to clearly obscure his identity. And they will enter in, and the gong is rung, and everyone will sit, and dinner will begin. And that is where we are going to leave off for today. Next time we will begin with the dinner party. Let's go through and check on XP, shall we? Bao Shi. Let's look at your entanglements here. I think that indirectly we got some of the references to Song Burjun, and I think I did press on this with the question of have you found the assassins in town yet?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you hit your general?
I think I was all about my general.
Yeah. So that's 3 points.
Okay, no.
Song Dot, definitely a romantic.
Yes.
Definitely your
the
general.
general.
So
Yeah.
3 points there. Blue Mountain Scholar, definitely we got your romantic. Do you think you feel like we hit your general too? You're muted.
Well, we didn't discuss it, but I continue to try to discern whether I need to be Blue Mountain Scholar or not, and I think that's part of it.
I think there was some back and forth there.
Yeah,
we'll give you the 3. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take the 3.
And I think Iron Lotus would hit both of yours. Especially that first one. But 3 points for that. And we definitely hit your general. Did we think we felt like you hit your romantic too, Chowlin?
Not quite this time.
Okay.
Definitely referred to it, but
okay. So 2 points then. I would like to do a quick stars and wishes. Stars being things that you dug, wishes being things that you'd like to see coming up in our mystery. We have 4 sessions left to do this mystery in, so someone's got to die next time, or a crime has to be committed. One of the two, a crime threatened of some sort. Let's go backwards. Ethan, Chowlin, let's have you start.
I mean, stars for that entire extremely awkward conversation earlier on. I cringed listening to it.
Yeah. Let's come to Iron Lotus then. I think it's worth saying, yeah, all the stars are the cringe, and I think that's fair to say there.
As someone who helped along the cringe.
Yes.
Right?
Iron Lotus, stars, wishes?
Let's see. Really big star too. I really enjoyed the moments with Lost Songs and I where we were like dancing with each other and then like going back and forth. I thought that was really fun and interesting. And I'm also so enamored with the idea that Golden Peony is so good with disguises, except around Rising Phoenix. Like for some reason, even though she can't discern a lot of other things, she can see past at least one of the layers, which is just so funny to me. It feels really appropriate. And as always, I really enjoy the scenes with Patrick. It's so funny how we're so good at it. Like it's an art form almost. So that's always super fun. Yeah, I'm just really happy to be back. It's really nice to be back in the game. This is really one of my favorites for years now. So I'm happy about that. In terms of and I also like reconnecting to Baoshi. That was really sweet. I think in terms of wishes, I'd love to be able to connect to Shaolin. I'm really going to set aside the opportunity to do so next time, I think. No pressure to not murder anyone, but it would be nice if we could maybe stop someone from being murdered for Master Baoshi's sake.
Okay.
But if someone dies, they die. That's fine. That's okay.
Fair enough.
I do remember in Brindlewood Bay, the mystery that David wrote where the person is supposed to die in front of you and it happened in front of Sharon. Sharon was like, no. And I was like,
oh yeah,
hey,
that's
I guess we're changing.
the T one. I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Oh yeah.
Because it's really it is harsh to see it happen in front of you. So it's like, all right.
But I literally had like a book of antidotes, It's like I have everything I need to keep this from happening.
I was running that mystery, and yeah, the session just like turned on a dime from this is hilarious to oh fuck, that was disturbing.
Yeah.
It's really
yeah, little tonal whiplash there. Yeah, I think that's interesting.
Was like, but if someone doesn't die, it's not a murder mystery anymore. And I'm like, that is a good point. But she almost died. Close enough.
Yeah, someone tried to kill someone. So that's always that's a good one. That's a good point. Yeah, I like that. Sherry.
I don't know what it is about the introduction of the mystery, but all the new NPCs, and I'm just like, I'm giddy with all of the opportunities. And yet this whole group, I want to talk to all of them too. This is just such a, there are too many things to do all the time. No matter what, I enjoy everything I get to do, but there's a million other things that I had on my list and I mourn that I don't get to. So, but so good. And what a beautiful batch of people again.
Anything wishes wise?
I don't know. I would love to figure out the mystery man's name.
Okay.
Just so I could,
fill that in on the sheet. Absolutely. Well, he's clearly been invited, so somebody knows him.
Yeah, so and he's probably like, actually reputable, unlike me, apparently. So.
Fair enough. Song Da.
Yeah, this was really fun. I definitely enjoyed the most awkward way to interact with Golden Peony for I think the first time sort of on camera. Aside from a very sick servant last time.
Oh God, I forgot about that. I remember the soup, but I didn't remember that
part. It wasn't even really her.
but I just enjoyed the whole vibe. You know, we have such a complicated character setup for our group, and sometimes that just sits in the background, and we're like, we're doing mystery stuff, and we're professionals, and sometimes it's just a wild comedy of errors. And this one was a wild comedy of errors. Like people were making assumptions about other people. Everybody was concerned with each other's relations and who they were talking to and what they were doing and who they were seen with. And it was just all these little like social sort of gossipy scenes that, like, if anyone just sat down and said the truth for once, it could all be worked out in about 10 minutes. But it's just getting bigger and bigger all the time in such a great way. I also love the NPC set for this one. You know, last time felt very like special effects, spectacular and over the top. This group feels very like high status and important in a way that we haven't quite run across in like a large group before. So I think it'll be interesting to take us in our various positions and reputations and put it in that. Which is I'm sure it will go terribly, but I would like to have a scene with Indigo Judgment last time. We've had a lot of like speculating and talking about what he might have said or what I think he meant by things, and I'd like to interact with him and get some like primary interaction sources there.
And I'm sure he would love to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, it'll probably go totally great.
Swimmingly.
I'm
and
gonna
this is
have
sort
to
of
tackle Song Dog.
this is sort of a more of a personal wish, but I want to make sure I'm looking for somewhere to like work in that tinkering gadgety sort of thing. You know, I sort of hinted at it with the like bad idea alchemical solution.
Absolutely.
But I want to find somewhere to build something interesting and crazy that'll probably explode.
All right, we'll keep that in mind. I like that. And Bao Shi.
I want to hit where we were talking about that alchemical thing, that scene with Song Da and Lost Song Janai. Patrick, I thought it was fun as you started it up, and I could see Sherry going, what the hell's happening? And Lowell kind of going, oh, what are we doing? And then you displayed it was ridiculous. It was not really what you wanted. And Sherry, you catching that and bringing it into this very personal scene was just great play back and forth. You know, it was so good. You know, that moment of, what are you scared of? And then Patrick reacting to it and you going, you know, are you frightened of your own people? And Patrick getting that, the way y'all played back and forth was so well done. And again, I think it started with Patrick's, you know, where's this at? And then it becoming ludicrous. I mean, obviously you're not drinking 12 liters of mystery brew. So that we get that, you know, you kind of give Sherry that moment of clearly this isn't what he's wanting. And Sherry, being the player you are, able to turn that into gold. Because that was just a tremendous scene. The back and forth with Peony and Phoenix is amazing all the time. I love Phoenix. Then we have Song Da come in. That's hilarious. I liked having a chance for Xiaolin and I to interact and express concerns. But it was really cool seeing, Ethan, you going out and really delving into people and asking hard questions. And I thought that was really excellent. What last scene where you were who were you? I'm trying to remember who you're talking.
Blue Mountain Sentinel.
Blue Mountain Sentinel. That's it. That was a great scene, and really, it shows the concern Shaolin has for not just Lost Song or Blue Mountain, but like what the hell's going on in this. And that was just really nicely done. So all four of y'all are so good. It's just such a delight. And Lowell, I mean, you always have the best NPCs. It was a ton of fun, a whole huge ton of fun. I'm going to kind of give my wish as my last, along with my last star, because I'm going to give me a star, patting myself on the back. I liked me going to Indigo Judgment.
Oh yeah, before you praise you, let me praise you. Like, that was the star I have to throw out. Like, that was a good scene. That was a good, bold maneuver. It was what you needed to do. It was a great use of that move. I knew you had that number in your pocket and you didn't need it. It was great. Like, oh, such a good scene. It was fun for me. I was so glad you did that.
Cool. Thank you. Because I want, as kind of a wish, I consider Baoshi kind of a comic relief character. He's a funny character. A little, he's a bit ridiculous. But I do want the peek through of he is a good detective. And so my kind of wish is, to get an opportunity here and there where we get to see him poke in at something. I kind of like, there are a couple of moves I wouldn't mind an opportunity on, which is by either tracking someone or I love my trap one. So something in there that lets me get an opportunity to show Bao as a real detective.
Well, and maybe we can throw another nice minor mystery in there, especially if it will cause somebody discomforture potentially in there. Yeah, there's just a lot. I like that. I will make sure to look through everyone's things. And
my final thing, real quick, is I do look forward to having a chance to talk to Lost Song Jedi about. I think the prince is a fake. I think the prince is a transplant kid. And that's where I'm delving suddenly into this overarch mystery. I can't wait to have that conversation.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you all so much. I had a great time with that. Just a delight. Also, here's another one. Ethan, thank you for playing along with me on the whole maybe I should marry off my niece to this wandering Wulin bit there. So I enjoyed that. I am going to stop the recording.